the circumstances of the crime are very difficult.
Yes. Yes.
And so I think we're all trying to make sense of what happened. I mean, there's a lot of people that drink in excess, but they don't do something like this.
Mm-hmm. So that being the question that I know that I was unable to answer last time here.
Do you
Yes,
have any
I do.
further insight?
I do
today?
have an answer for you today.
Okay.
And because I did not want to leave anything out, that is the one piece of paper I have in front of me, answering that one question. I can answer all the other questions without this piece of paper, but I needed this piece of paper to answer that one question today. This is my answer to that, because I was 100% believed that we were going to discuss this today.
Okay, so
You know, there's no shortage.
the floor is yours.
I apologize for having to read it, but I've just been unable to keep it straight without having to have a focus of it. There's no short answer to that. It was a buildup of all my failures, a lifetime of failures. For a long time, I struggled with this question: why did I kill Karen Barriere? It took working with the therapist to gain understanding and to identify why this crime occurred. I feel it's necessary to start by saying that I never intended to hurt anybody that day, especially Miss Barriere. She was my friend. Her death was not due to anything that she did. She did not deserve what happened to her. I was at a very bad point in my life, experiencing failure after failure in the months leading up to April 16th, 1990. You know, I had to move back home in October because I couldn't pay my rent. I was spending too much money on alcohol. Even though I had parties and made money, I spent the money. Then I got into that car accident in December, and I felt even more useless. And I just drank because that's how I dealt with my problems. Then I had a dog, Alice, and she was with me all the time. But when I'd leave her home, I'd get spoken to, but I call it yelled at by my parents. You're not taking care of your dog. You know, you can't even take care of a simple thing like taking care of your dog. That's another failure. All these things were going on in the failure there, and going out drinking and coming home drunk or not coming home. Where were you last night? We were up worrying about you. It's another failure. I can't even satisfy my parents. I was an emotional train wreck. I continued to self-medicate with alcohol. That was the only coping mechanism I had. That's the only coping mechanism I knew. You know, then getting cleared for work from the therapy, as you mentioned earlier, that was another failure. Now I don't have all this free time to keep doing what I want to do, living the life of Riley, which really wasn't a life of Riley. It was a horrible way to live, just being alcoholic like I was. So then we went out that day, and then when I was unable to become aroused later on in that afternoon there, it just overwhelming emotions were just focused at myself. Another failure. Here I am, another failure in my life. It wasn't just simply a failure of that moment. It wasn't that moment. It was another failure in my life. And I didn't want to deal with the consequences of my own feelings. And, you know, my feelings, and I really hated who I was. At that time, I really did, because here I am. I can't do anything right. Never mind even, you know, I didn't know how to express and regulate emotions back then. I really didn't even know how to express, never mind understand why I felt the way I was feeling. In April of 1990, my internal anger erupted into a rage that was directed at her, onto her. Miss Barriere became the undeserving recipient of my self-hatred. Had nothing to do with her. She didn't ask for this. She did not deserve this. I was there on the roof. Me, her, and I just lost it. I lost it and it had nothing to do with her. It had all to do with myself. I wish I would have taken it out on myself. Because I know this, and I've never said this. That day after I threw her in the hole, I thought about jumping down that fucking hole myself. Excuse me. I've never said that. But I did. Thought about it. I was so ashamed of who I had become. You know, and that's why this crime happened. That is why. And I learned that. I understand that. I couldn't have got that by myself. Therapist helped me get that. I couldn't get that by myself. And I never even told him that I was going to jump down that hole.